That's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
What rules or guidelines should you keep in mind when using humor? Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
Serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it out.
Hello, my Dark Horse friends and family. Welcome back to your daily dose of change my life in 15 minutes or less learning. You know what? We're just going to go strip right past that. You're here every day. You know who I am. I'm your Dark Horse host, Tracy Brinkman, and you are that driven entrepreneur here to kickstart, restart, or just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, and business tips. And you're here for another daily success episode on Dark Horse Entrepreneur because, yep, we know there's no shortcuts to success except for taking daily action towards your goals every single day. Now, I know we were supposed to be chatting about your how to build your irresistible offer, but after yesterday, I mentioned the 10 rules of effective humor, and I didn't want to just kind of leave it hanging out there, you know, like that dangling participle. I mentioned we were going to do this in a future episode, so the future episode is today. So now, let's finish off yesterday's thought on effectively using humor. So ladies and gentlemen, here you are, the 10 rules of using humor effectively. Now, before I start off with rule number 1, let's drive one point home. You're going to want to remember all these rules, and don't go out there breaking them intentionally, because if you don't remember them, or if you break them intentionally, you might find yourself on the receiving end of someone else's humor. All right, so here we are. Rule number 1, never take credit for someone else's joke. Come on, first off, that's just bad form. But trying to pass off a funny joke or a comment as your own can make for a really awkward situation, right? Because usually someone in your audience, no matter how small or big it is, might know the origin of the joke that you're sharing. Plus, let's not even talk about the dent to your self-pride. There's a skill in delivering a good joke or quip or story. Even if it's someone else's joke, it still takes some skill. So I would say take pride in that skill and that ability to be able to deliver the joke and give credit to the joke. You know, give credit where credit is due. I mean, you could even say something like, you know, as John Candy would say, or however you say it, but make sure you share the fact that the joke is not your original content. That way you get to stay funny and keep your integrity. Now, number 2, if you tell a joke or say something funny, make sure it's to a new audience. Yeah, I think we've all been privy and quickly learned from those that we've hung around with that maybe were, I don't know, overly intoxicated, over-intoxicated friends or family members. A joke can be funny the first time you hear it. It might even be funny the first couple of times you hear it, but try to pass it off to the same audience over and over and over again is a quick slide downhill, right to comedic oblivion. Rule number 3, be appropriate. This one's kind of self-explanatory. I mean, come on. There's a time and a place for crude, rude, and raunchy. I get that. Just as there's a time and a place to not be any of those, especially in humor. I mean, think about it, right? If you're at a wedding or, gosh, if you're at a funeral, humor can be used effectively to make people feel better, to deal with some of the stress or anxieties that may be going on. But humor at the expense of, say, the bride or the funeral's guest of honor, probably not the best idea, no matter how funny you might think it'd be. Number 4, keep it short. Right? I could leave it at that. I could just actually keep it short. No, do not drone on and on and on with these long-winded stories. Just get to the joke. Often droning on and on does more damage than good. Number 5, be smooth. Yeah. Humor more often than not is all about delivery over content. Stumbling, bumbling, messing up your words, especially keywords or phrases that are core to the humor itself, can really hose up your humorous intent. Wow, I'm speaking really well today. Number 6, remember your timing. A great joke delivered with the wrong timing, be that early or late or stalled, can flop, and flop hard. Number 7, be relevant. Make sure your joke, pun, quick wit, or quirky story is relevant to the current topic, conversation, or situation. I mean, think about it. Starting an automotive speech with a joke about grooming your dog probably isn't going to flow too well. Number 8, do not make jokes at other people's expense. Kind of mentioned this early about being appropriate, but let's go back to this, right? Do not make jokes at other people's expense. It's worthy of its own rule. I know it's really tempting. Some people make it super tempting. Some people put these huge targets on their backs and are just like, hey, make fun of me, make fun of me. Please hold your tongue and redirect your creative humor in a more honorable direction. Number 9, don't overdo it. Be funny, right? Have a good time. Let your audience have a good time, but don't try to be a comedian. I mean, unless you are a comedian by trade, then yeah, go for it. But if you're just, giving a speech or a presentation or a keynote or on a podcast, right, then use your humor as a tool to hook your audience, not the car to drive over them, right? Use the humor to draw them in, but not so much that they won't take you seriously in the end, right? Because you know when to be serious, don't you? And number 10, corny is for candy. Unless your audience likes going to places like, I don't know, Chuck E. Cheese, they're still watching morning cartoons, or they're going to grab their laptops to learn how to read, write, and do arithmetic, you probably want to avoid the corny jokes. All right, there you go. 10 rules for using humor effectively to build off yesterday's episode. Now, I think one more thing to remember is that, even the best comedians out there who do this for a living, yeah, they drop bombs. Those boom, that joke just bombed. Yep, even they have jokes and fail. Now, usually you're not privy to those failures because they're edited out of the shows that you end up seeing on TV or Netflix or Amazon, whatever it might be. But trust me, growing up in Southern California and going to the smaller comedic stages and watching some great comedians practice their craft, it doesn't always go well, right? But they learn from that experience. And I wanted to call that out to you to let you know that, 1, you're going to hose up. It's going to happen. You're going to stumble. You're going to bumble. You're going to trip. You're going to face plant in the comedic hell, right? And number 2, if you're ready for those mistakes, you could easily leverage that into an even better joke or a positive, memorable moment that might have come off even better than the joke had succeeded, right? You may have seen some of those quote-unquote impromptu moments, but usually I think those ones are scripted. Like you see them, the comedian will tap on the microphone. It's like, dunk, 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 dunk. Hey, is this thing on? Right? So you could do something like that too. So maybe if you're preparing a presentation and it's got a joke in it, be prepared for it to bomb and have something maybe in your hip pocket ready to pull out and redeem it, right? So no matter what, remember, using humor is going to require some practice, some self-confidence, and then some more practice. So get out there, practice, 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 and have fun. I mean, it's supposed to be fun-ny, isn't it? Oh, God, that was awful. All right, tomorrow we will be chatting about your irresistible offer. No, really, I mean it this time. So get out there, run your race, get your results, and let me hear about them. Heck, let me hear about your jokes too. Until tomorrow, think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Thanks for tuning in.
check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.
Whether you're solving murders during breakfast, cracking cold cases on your commute, or playing amateur detective at bedtime, Amazon Music's got millions of podcast episodes waiting. Just download the Amazon Music app and start listening to your favorite true crime podcasts ad-free, included with Prime.